Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to Take the Initiative. We've got top 8 action here tonight. It's only midnight. I'm actually feeling good. Like, I've done some late streams. This one is not even, like, late for me. So it's gonna be fun. We've got Weyoun here versus Dillen. It's our last remaining top 8 match. Winner gets to play Count Dooku and Akbar Data Vault, who just won against this Han2 blue deck. So if Dillen wins, he's in for it. If Weyoun wins, maybe maybe Count Dooku is going to be a bit less experienced in that matchup. Here are the lists. They're in the description on Substack if you want to take a look at them. This is Weyoun's. It's a pretty tight Han green list, running all the good stuff. He's down to 2 of the Get Out and Push Falcon, which I think has been pretty standard, but all the other good stuff is in there. 2 emphasis in the main. That's not 100% of people earn that, but it's fairly common. I think it's morning for both these players. I believe they're European, so they're saying good morning. This is Dillen's list. It's Han Blue. It's running some fun tricks in there. The Cloud City security team, or whatever it's called, is it's gonna be really interesting. Could be real good here. Mace in the main deck, Chewie's in the main deck. I like it. Phantom 2 not played a whole lot outside of this deck exactly. So I'm excited to see what's going on. The Phantom 2 is basically, I think it ends up being a 5-1, right? I gotta check this again. Yeah, so it's 3-3 for 3, and it has grit, so you can play it effectively as a 5-1 for 2, which is really, really interesting. And they probably want my permission. Boom. All right, I think this one really could go either way. I'm not sure that either player is favored inherently. I think we could be in for a pretty long one, although we also could be in for a pretty short one. These mid-range mirrors, they really can go either way. And they're in a voice chat, so if which is great for players to be in. So they probably won't be using the text chat here unless you need to communicate with me. All right, oh, and I should pipe in the TTS sounds into the stream. There we go. All right. Wayne's still figuring out what to resource here. This is kind of an awkward hand. Especially going second. Like if he was going first, it'd be a different thing. All right. Because so Dillen goes to ground here, which means Weyoun is gotta feel pretty safe about going for a Chewie line here with this A-wing. Dillen, this Outer Rim Outlaws is a pretty nice one though for Dillen, for Weyoun, for Dillen. Sorry. Oh my god, for Dillen, it's a nice one to have. Yoda's also pretty nice. It's gonna help him keep up with the with this action. Okay, it looks like we're getting some audio lag, so I'm gonna reboot my audio. All right. I rebid the audio, and it seems like we're functioning properly right now. All right, entrenched. That's a real good out to the Chewy. Weyoun does have 2 more copies of the Phoenix A-Wing, though, which is pretty nice to see. But it looks like double force throw is going to be coming down from Dillen, which is going to clear both of them, probably. Yup. That's massive. Dillen's way ahead right now. Not necessarily insurmountably. Like, this Han Green deck can push things from out of nowhere. And it's got lots of good smuggled stuff, including this tech that we just saw get resourced here. And Han himself can make a pretty big difference on the board when he flips. And I believe Weyoun is also main decking Confiscates. So if he can pick up one of those, that's a good out to the entrenched. All right, and it looks like Weyoun is going to Han. Set up the deploy onto 6. Yoda getting another attack in. That Yoda's generated so much value for Dillen here. All right, Weyoun is now baited the attacks from both those units, which means if he plays a tech this turn, it's not going to die immediately. Looks like he's not going for that line, though. Going instead for Blaster here. And he's just going to go hit the base. He's got 4 resources up. I believe he's got an L3 in the resource row, which I know can be smuggled for 4. Oh, tech is also 4. I can't. Oh, he is 5. I can't believe I thought tech was 5 cost for some reason. But yeah, no, he can go tech for 4 here. And that's going to lead to Dillen taking initiative here. Dillen is going to be able to immediately Han in a Luke or this Wrecker, actually. Or we wouldn't even have to Han in the Wrecker. He could just play it. But playing Wrecker here could clear tech. Luke could kill Han. We'll see what line he takes, which he views as the greater threat. All right, looks like he's going to not make a decision yet. Just going to clear that Han with the Outlaws. Which gives Weyoun an action to play something out of the row with tech here. It is Weyoun's action. I don't want to look at like his resources, but I mean, what could he have? If he has Confiscate, that would be impactful. Oh, just gonna go Hotshot Blaster here and clear the R2. Force throw is a pretty nasty pickup here. I imagine we're just going to see a Han in Luke, presumably to clear the tech. Although he might even just like ram his own Han into that tech. All right, now he's going to go and Luke up. Weyoun does get to establish the hauler here. And Dillen takes initiative here. So one of the big things that Weyoun could draw here to get him back in the game is the big Han unit. And Dillen is presumably hedging around that by claiming there. At least that's part of the motivation. If the Han does get drawn, then he can immediately force throw it away. Instead, so now he's just gonna go Chewie, clear that hauler. Now, technically, Dillen can replay the hauler, but with the A-wing out there, it's not really like not necessary, and arguably not even optimal. Weyoun's gonna pass here. Luke gets one in there. That's pretty big. Weyoun, yeah, looks like he's going for another tech here. Yeah, tech's one of the only things that could potentially get Weyoun back into the game. Ooh, he's got Comfy out of the row. That's nice. Clear the entrenched. Might be too little too late. He's still got to fight through this massive ground board. But at least he's got a space threat. Although on second thought, Force Throw could just clear this A-Wing again. And Dillen just picked up another copy of Entrenched. All right, so yeah, Entrenched coming down first action. Again, that gives Weyoun a chance to get value out of the tech in the row. Ends up not taking it and just trading with Luke. All right, Weyoun's action. Gonna put another threat on the board with this big Falcon. And looks like Dillen's just gonna present a oh, he's gonna wrecker his own Chewie. Yeah, you can do that. So now this Chewie is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That Chewie is actually lethal. That's a wow. What an end to that game. Wrecker on the friendly Chewie. To present lethal. All right, congrats, Dillen, for taking game 1. We'll see if sideboards can make things different for Weyoun. Here's Dillen's sideboard. He's got comfies in the sideboard, which is they're definitely coming in to deal with the potential Chewies. Bombing run potentially also, because sometimes Weyoun can go to space and do crazy things. Redemption is pretty nice. Krayt Dragon might come in to help grind, but I kind of doubt it. It seems like Weyoun's not like that much of a late game deck that Krayt Dragons would come in, but maybe. On Weyoun's side, he's got a lot of stuff for playing grind games, like home one, salvages, Han Solo. I'm not sure what R2 is in there for exactly. I know it's a common thing in Han sideboards. If anyone's got more experience with the deck, let me know what the R2 is there for. Poe is an interesting one as well. I don't think it's one that you really want in this matchup. But I imagine Weyoun's going to want some of the more late game stuff as well. Certainly this Han Solo to fight for the ground. Home one is maybe debatable, but I think it probably ends up in there. All right. If you want to join this league yourself, there's a link to the Discord in the description. Set 5 is legal this month. So for the top cut, it's just set 4. Like for this tournament. But the ongoing league right now and next month's top cut will be what's the name? Power of the Force? Secrets of the Force? I actually forget the name. Legends of the Force. And Secrets of Power is the next one. Okay. So Legends of the Force will be legal for the top cut. And these players are off to the races here. Ooh. So Dillen actually, he thought about playing this Cassian, decided to just take initiative. Presumably he's scared of a Chewie here and wants to open fire. That's my best guess as to why I did that. And yeah, he is going to go open fire. Weyoun does have a nice follow-up, though, with the get out and push Falcon. No pilots for it immediately, though. All right, and we're going to see that Phantom coming in. This is a fun one. Basically, just here as a 5/1, the action requires you to have the Ghost, basically. And that's not in Dillen's list. All right, here goes Kira. Hard to tell what the call is. Like in the Hammerhead, probably like it's a 6 cost. Yeah, Hammerhead's probably a safe call. Like maybe Entrenched, maybe Fell the Dragon, but I have to imagine it's going to be that Hammerhead because it actually could be relevant next turn. Although the Entrenched could be relevant this turn, so I guess it's one of those two. I'd lean towards Hammerhead if I were Weyoun. Because the Entrenched, if it comes down this turn, like it probably wouldn't come down on Falcon because it looks like Dillen is setting up to use the Phantom to trade into Falcon. If it came down on Kira, like that's not actually that bad for you if you're Weyoun, because now your Kira is really threatening to clog up this ground lane. It would be an immediate kill onto the Han. Weyoun's thinking about it. There's an argument to go for Fell the Dragon also if he thinks he's going to play the Han unit next turn. I don't think there's a world in which it's Mace, but maybe. Weyoun's still thinking. Actually, Mace is going to be online a turn earlier because of Han. So because Mace can come out the turn after next, maybe there's more of an argument to hit him. If he does call something else and then the Mace comes down, like, you know, that's one thing. That's gonna be Fell the Dragon. All right, that's interesting. So that to me says Weyoun is really gonna be trying for this Han unit next turn. And Dillen takes initiative. Heroic Sacrifice and the Outlaws picked up for Dillen. Let's see, how big is this Hammerhead gonna hit for? It's gonna hit. It should hit for 4, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but it'll be 4, which is not quite enough to kill the Kira. Maybe that's partially why Weyoun thought it was safe to not call it. He might not even go for it this turn. It'll depend. We'll see. I'm trying to think if Dillen has a way to immediately threaten Weyoun's leader. I don't think he does. He's just, he has the ability to kill Han in 2 actions, but he's gonna get at least 1 attack off. All right, that's interesting. Goes Kira into Han. That actually, like, that theoretically opens a line for. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, like, if Dillen wanted to go Han into the Kira, he could set up Fell the Dragon for the big Han unit. All right, little Han's gonna crash into the bigger one. The red Han is gonna crash. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I always consider the red Han the little Han and the yellow one the big one. That's just how I think of it. But I guess they're not. I mean, I guess, like, in terms of age, the yellow one is bigger. So Dillen's gonna crash his leader in, which means Weyoun doesn't actually have to go for this big Han line, like even bigger Han unit line, and instead goes for Tech plus Falcon, which is pretty nice. Another Hammerhead picked up. All right. I will say also the fact that Dillen crashes Han here it guarantees that the Han abilities can be online this turn, and it also allows Mace to be able to kill the Han leader immediately. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me. All right. Weyoun is going to be able to keep this Falcon up for free because he Hond, but he does still have to blow up 2 resources. Which means he should be at 6. So if this Han dies immediately, which I imagine it will, Weyoun's going to be out of a play for this turn. Ooh, salvage blown up. So we know that came in from the sideboard. All right, 6 resources. It could be that mace line that we were talking about. It could also just be this hammerhead that Dillen picked up for turn, which clears the Han. It also could clear Falcon if Dillen wanted to go that way, but I imagine priority number 1 is going to be getting this Han off the board. And yep, it is. No, I said Weyoun was going to be out of play. I just meant he can't play something from hand. He still obviously has the tech, so he could play something out of the resource row. All right, Hammerhead's going to eat Falcon here. These Hammerheads are doing a real nice job for Dillen. So, I mean, Dillen here has taken a lot of damage, taken 15. But he's got a real nice setup on in the space here right now. He's going to be able to hardcast the mace next turn to clear tech, which is going to be nice. And he picked up a force throw this turn, which is real. He can take a line which is like Han in the mace, clear the tech, and still have a resource left for force throw. And it looks like he is going to take that line. Weyoun does have the punish at hand, though, which is that big Han unit. Ooh, and Weyoun playing this aggressive here. Going to base with that Phoenix instead of clearing the Hammerhead. He could be in for a lot of damage this turn. So yeah, Han is going to come in, clear the mace before the force throw gets a chance to go off, which is big. And Weyoun finally gets initiative here. Now, all right, A-Wing is going to be cleared there by the second Hammerhead. Which actually, I like that play a lot because it doesn't affect the clock. Like, no matter what, Dillen still has 2 turns lethal, or two rounds lethal. Like, you can hit for 10, bring Weyoun to 20, then hit for 10 again next round for lethal. Whereas if he had hit base, it would have been 15 or 25 and then 30. So it's maybe a couple actions differential, but in terms of rounds, the clock is not affected by that. So I do like the killing of the A-Wing there. Dillen does fire off a force throw without a unit, just to have Weyoun discard. He discards an Emphas. Weyoun now has in hand 2 copies of Falcon and a Blue Leader, which is real nice. The Blue Leader can immediately ambush one of those Hammerheads, and then he's got 3. Oh, he's only got 8, so he can't play both these Falcons, but he can play one of them. And Weyoun does have initiative here, which means if he wants to be aggressive here, he can go in for 6. He does know that there's a Felder Dragon in hand because of the Kira. So he does go to base. Technically, Weyoun can get lethal this round. Like if he goes for both Falcons, he's got to bait one more action out of Dillen, and that's attacking with the second Hammerhead. Well, actually, Dillen does have entrenched, which can save him if it comes down to it. All right, looks like Weyoun is going to make a safer play and not go for lethal this turn. Instead, goes for attack. All right, one copy of Falcon at least does come down. And Dillen is now in a bit of a conundrum. He has to blow up Han. He can do that with Felder Dragon. Otherwise, he loses to an attack next turn. But he also loses to 2 Falcon attacks. He also loses to Falcon attack plus tech with a blaster. Potentially also loses to like Falcon next turn. Also loses next turn to surprise strike Falcon. So he does have ways of dealing with both. Let's see, how many resources do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's on 8, right? So he's just one shy of being able to play Fell, Entrenched, Village People. Gonna settle for Entrenched at the moment. Now remember, Weyoun does know about Felder Dragon. Okay, so he's gonna force the Felder Dragon out here. Oh, okay. So it's not actually gonna be Felder Dragon. It's gonna be he's gonna go Village Protectors, Han and K2. I didn't see that line, but it is a pretty nasty one. Village People does clog up the ground. K2 presents another threat for Dillen. Dillen's got a couple ways to get there this turn. Let's see. Does Weyoun have like a confiscate out of the researcher? I mean, even if he did, it's a bit rough. I think he wants to be dealing with these units. Village People plus K2 is 6, which is effectively here like a third potential way to get to lethal. Like Hammerhead, one Hammerhead attack plus both of those guys on the ground attacking is lethal. Same way the double Hammerhead attacking is. Weyoun is really looking for Waylay, I think, is the big card. But I mean, even if he has it, like the Village People could be replayed pretty quickly. It looks like Weyoun is he's even thinking about resourcing still. All right, he's going to stick with his original decision and go for that resupply. He does have initiative. What are his ways out? He's got to clear. Is there a way to go for lethal this turn? I'm not sure that there is. You can clear one of the hammerheads of his choosing right now. It would presumably be the bigger one. He can clear the second one with a blue leader if he wants. But it doesn't look like he has an easy way to deal with village people. And that's going to be tough. He's having a big card think. What could be in the resource row? See, discard an Emphas. Having Emphas would be... I don't actually know if it would be all that relevant here, really, because the village people could just get replayed. Let's see. He does have... Let's see. Theoretically, he has a way to clear... he does theoretically have a way to lethal, which is attack tech into village people, ambush it with blue leader, and then he's got Han shot to base for lethal. But the problem is he would I think he would need Waylay for that. He's got 9 resources. So he'd go like attacked Waylay. He'd have to resource with Han there. The Waylay could target like basically any unit. Presumably it'd be K2. Are they waiting on something? Let's see. Oh, he still has to think about whether he's going to keep Falcon. Actually, that matters a lot. So he's going to keep it. But if he didn't keep it, so because of the Falcon states, he can't do that line I was thinking about of blue leader plus Waylay. So he's going to keep it. He's going to ram one of the hammerheads. Let's see. One thing he could have is like tech out surprise strike. Ooh, okay, K2 goes to base. That actually gives Weyoun a bit of a shot because he can go blue leader into this hammerhead. It now does give Dillen an opening to be able to fell the dragon that Han unit, though. All right, 2 goes into base. Tech knocks off the shield. All right, Dillen is not going to kill that Han. He's going to push out a Phantom. Weyoun's running out of options here. Look at EF here. This is such a tight spot. One wrong move on either player's side, and the game goes the other way. I mean, these players are taking a while to think about all their actions, and I really don't blame them. Weyoun has been really helpful to the TTI community, stepping in and streaming a lot of the games, and also just encouraging me to do more with the league. It's been really valuable to have him on board these past couple of months. All right, so Dillen takes initiative, basically calls Weyoun's bluff here, and says, if you have Surprise Strike, you have it. Otherwise, I win. Weyoun, in fact, does not have Surprise Strike. And that's going to be it. Good games. Wow, that last one really could have gone either way. It looked like Dillen had I just marked the wrong thing. It looked like Dillen had a pretty big disadvantage for a while, but then like at the end, those hammerheads got a lot in, and at the end he just had the perfect set of cards here. All right, congratulations to Dillen for advancing. He's gonna have to face Count Dooku in the top 8, or in top 4, sorry, who just got off a top 8 match, beating Seraph on Dillen's very deck. So we'll have that one on TTI at some point. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember to take the initiative.